All right, well, welcome back, guys. Session 9. It's been a little bit because we had the winter/holiday break, but going back into this low-level, level 3 materia setting in Volpine and the Foxwoods. Previously, the group had ventured off into the fourth. Yes, they went to the fourth establishment, not counting the homestead in the swine fields, the swine ranches, with the same intent to investigate and arson, to hopefully continue to weaken the ward and whatever other magical presence was down in this area. They approached the building, the ranch, and it was different than the previous 3 that they had encountered. In this one, the interior was lined with flesh and sinew and viscera, and it was producing these roundabout 2.5 feet cubed cysts, which were being harvested by some entities inside. The group, at a very unfortunate timing, were caught in between the ranch and a caravan coming to the ranch, seemingly to collect what was being grown in this flesh farm. Combat had ensued. The group managed to survive the brunt of the encounter, and then the ranch itself animated and began to defend itself in a literal forest of tentacles which were whipping around and attacking anything that it could sense. The group managed to escape with the aid of Grissa and Pan, their dryad allies, and reached the edge of the Foxwoods where they made camp. They were introduced to a construct known as a guardian, and Pebble was resummoned, brought back into this plane by Roque, Al, Grissa, and Pan. In the morning, the group had deliberated on a plan to go investigate the ranch once again, which they set out to do after Grissa left to go get aid. And the plan quickly divulged into shenanigans and trying to reset ablaze the ranch, where they discovered, one of the cysts had been left. Can't remember who it was. I know it was Marb and Dregnar went forth, and they popped the cyst, essentially, discovering that not much about it. And they continued back to the group, where the group had decided to continue on to their now 5th location. And they are going to a new symbol, guided by Marb, Dregnar, and Gustav. As they traverse the fields, the group had started to see abandoned wagons, caravans, covered wagons, and all that, saw in different states. Most of these actually look fairly well off. Maybe one of the covers is slightly torn, maybe one of the wheels is broken, but they're not falling apart per se. And I believe that is where we left off, with the group approaching a cluster of, 3 or 4 so wagons about 100 feet away from them. So what would the group like to do?
But how far are we from what we think is our destination now? Or do we even know?
I don't think y'all know at this point.
Yeah, I think there was debate about where we wanted to head next.
So it was, I think, as the group was calling it, was like a flower or tulip, a person-looking symbol, was where y'all were heading next. I did, on the map that we are on currently, which is the overview of Volpine and the surrounding area, I did draw in the symbols on the map. It is small. I apologize. I try to keep it kind of, in the area, so y'all actually have a better understanding of the layout. So the the G ones, the G squiggles, are the ones where you saw the worms, and those are all torched. The one immediately underneath it and closest to the woods again is one of the X symbols, and it's got the little squiggle going through it to indicate that it animated. And then, as far as I understood, y'all were on your path heading from like the Foxwoods, going this way into the first tulip/person-looking establishment or symbol. So I just kind of leave it to y'all. What would y'all like to do? You have about 3 or 4 wooden wagons and carts of different make, different size, kind of just littered in a sense, not too closely packed to each other. And these are, once again, just looking them over, relatively undamaged, maybe a little scuffed. Maybe, like I said, maybe one has a broken spoke on a wheel, and maybe one of the ones that's covered has a tear in it. But other than that, from what you could tell, they look okay.
Is there any, like, marking, symbols, decoration that would indicate that they belong to any particular...
Yeah. So, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perception? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I would ask the dwarf if it's one of if any of these wagons belong to his caravan.
All right, let me
Did we ask that last time when we first arrived?
I don't think we did.
We did not.
I rolled a 22
okay.
perception.
22. So looking at these ones, there's a symbol of the verdant cause, the green background with the golden flower, and some of the little, markings of like an armory. Like, so you see, it's like a symbol of a shield, and maybe there's like 2 bladed weapons underneath it, kind of adorning it, indicating that this was a transport of equipment. And then as Grant pipes up to Dregnar kind of looks at them, and at this distance he kind of squints his eyes and he kind of points over to one of them, and he just kind of breaks from the group a little bit, and he looks over it, and he drops his shoulders a little and his head down a little bit and looks to you and says, I'm not going to do his voice, but this looks like the wagon that I was escorting from Whitlaw. And as you group kind of follows his lead in a sense, you see that this one, the covers is torn. There is still at this point kind of more fresh blood smears and tracks on it. So he definitely does recognize one of the wagons, and it's been anything that's been inside seems to have been taken out essentially.
So what kind of cargo were you guys carrying from Whitlaw?
We were carrying various supplies of grains and some farmer's tools, and that's all that I really noticed that we were carrying. We were heading down south to Green Hill, which is not on the map, but it's another one. It's another town, probably about equidistant from Vulpine to Carver is Vulpine to Green Hill. If anybody wants to do a history check, they can do so to see if you know anything about Green Hill.
Yeah, sure. Even though I'm not trained.
Is the verdant?
I'm super dumb, so no.
Okay. Go ahead, Andrew.
Is the verdant cause wagons, are those emptied out as well?
Yes, those are emptied out, and you kind of going into one, like Angie, you're kind of, Grant, you're a little bit more interested in it. You kind of open it and you see that there's a couple like chests in there, or that are like actually built in. So like metal, reinforced, and it's used like to carry equipment. So there could have been bows, bladed weapons, shields, armor. It seems to be a equipment transport.
Right. I think Grant would call up to Gustav. He's like, Gustav, did the weird pigs in the circus tents, did they carry any gear, any weapons, any shields? Do you remember?
No, I'm pretty sure they were unarmed because they were just mutated townsfolk. Yeah, they just were like punching and goring. Yeah, they didn't have any equipment that I saw.
They're collecting stuff now. This is pretty troubling.
Well, I mean, I imagine if they turn and they're not in the middle of a crowd of normal humans, they probably have different priorities.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Grant, you're kind of getting the right sense that caravans have been looted, and when you think about the recent encounter that you just had the day before at the flesh farm, those swine folk that you were fighting had bladed weapons, had bow and arrow, and even had some semblance of armor.
I remember getting a pitchfork.
Yeah, we got
stuck in
attacked
my
by
butt.
like pigs with bows and arrows.
Yeah, we got shot.
Yeah. And as far as the history, real quick, you've heard the name Greenhill. Most of y'all are not from this area. Grant, you've passed through Greenhill in your past. Al, you know Greenhill because it's in a sort of unique situation. It's found amongst a ton of just natural hills. To one side, it runs into the further extension of the Foxwoods, and there's natural cool water rivers that run from the Gray Coral Mountains that cut through into some fertile swamplands. And by fertile, they do grow different types of like swamp vegetation there, which are used to produce either medications, food supply, stuff like that. And you do know, Al, that there is a adventurers guild, like one of the main halls is found in Greenhill.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, what's the group gonna do?
Guess we press on.
Yeah.
So as you suggest pressing on, Dregnar will kind of word, a little shaken
Quick
by what
question:
he's
how
seen.
big is Volpine as a whole? Like, and how big would the Verdant cause presence be there?
So yeah, Volpine in the extended area with all of its ranches, which is on the map is the lighter colored area. Its population is roughly 6,000 people.
6,000, right?
Yes. 33% halfling, and then it's basically like a nice mix of human, some dwarf, some gnome. You got your Goliaths, which are from the Gray Coral Mountains that come down and find work there. This is a smattering. To give you an size comparison, Whitlaw, which is the major crossroad capital of the nation of Kled, is a metropolis, and it has I should look it up. Let me see. I don't want to give you the wrong number. I have this written down. Population of 33 to 35,000 people.
Okay.
So significantly larger. And the part of Volpine is, even though it has a moderately sized population, it is sort of spread out in that it takes up that entire ranch area. And there will be times where it might go a couple weeks, maybe even longer, where some local or some ranchers won't make it to the main city of Volpine, but to go and either collect supplies, make some trade, or just to see some other people that they haven't seen in a while, take a break from work. It's very much a rancher's type of life out here. The city itself maybe has 200 to 300 permanent residence inside of Volpine. It's not very large.
Good, thanks.
So as the group decides to press on, Dregnar will kind of heed the group to let's pursue cautiously, because we are marching. It feels to him that he's marching further and further into the possible belly of the beast. So, survival crew, if you would like to survival for me, and then anyone else, let me know what would you like to do.
Survivaling.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Guidance, the one that's moving.
Yeah, you can guidance Marb. I'm probably good.
17.
18 for me.
Nice.
Nice. Oh yeah, because Marb, you're not trained to throw this. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the two companions that came together, they work in tandem, and they are used to traveling together, and there is some experience with traveling with larger groups. They're getting familiar with the terrain. Still, very little vegetative life. Most of the grasses in here are dried up and wilting and dying. You don't see birds flying around. You don't see bugs buzzing. No little critters. So the group, as far as compass goes, continues on like a south and a slightly western direction. Using the hills as best as you can to kind of cover your approach as you head more and more eventually kind of to the west. Pan is kind of lingering back a little bit. Dregnar is just kind of walking along with her as he's kind of keeping an eye out on the back behind y'all and to the hills as you pass them.
Does it look like she's having a hard time, or is she just tentative?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she is. She's definitely starting to lag behind.
That's not to be unexpected, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we press on, but if she seems to be really struggling, then maybe we'll deal with it. I don't know.
Okay.
Unless anybody else has got a better idea.
No. Is it like significantly like slowing us down, or just like?
Don't kill her, Marb. Don't even do that.
Well, now that you've said it, it's got to happen. So.
Right now, it's not so much a significant slowdown. But as the group travels for about, let's say, 10 minutes or so, the final time that it happens before the group kind of recollects themselves, she was probably a good 60, 70 feet lagging behind, with Dregnar trying to walk with her.
I mean, I don't know if it's worth considering. Can we
Let's
drop
just
her
keep
off somewhere safe? Because, like, I think the issue
Stop where we charge her
is just
plant
that, like, we've been
powers.
wasting a lot of time. We feel
Mhm.
like we want to try to, like, be proactive, but also if we have other people, it might be worth just being like, hey, let's take you to a place where you can rest and recover, and then we're going to go deal with this problem. I mean, just a thought. I don't know if anyone else.
Yeah, how far
I
are we from
agree.
the actual, like, how far from the forest tree line and stuff are we?
You can see the way the group has been traveling. You've definitely been keeping the forest to your, what would that be? Your left? Yeah. So
Maybe she goes, hangs out there, and
okay. So who's going to propose that to her?
I'm the only one who speaks their language.
Okay.
I mean, she understands common, but yeah, I still
That
think
does,
her-
that
yeah,
does
she's-
tend to help.
Wink,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah,
It's communication.
I would talk to her and be like, hey, are you all right? Can you stay behind? It doesn't look like you're doing well. We have it for now. From here.
Yeah, just for the sake, give me a persuasion check at advantage.
Persuasion, get advantage. Oh,
Some-
minus 2.
Yeah.
Advantage means I get to roll twice?
Yes, take the higher.
Only 2 and not
7.
not 3. Like
7? Oh man. She's kind of. Oh man.
like the DC was like 8. Come on.
Awkward.
She kind of like looks at you and she's like, but you in Sylvan, she's like, you need help. You need my help. And as she's talking, you can kind of tell that even if she doesn't know what she's gonna help you with, like you're wise enough to kind of read, and she's just kind of almost like in an autopilot state. So if you kind of have her potentially, if someone else wants to maybe
I have
assist in this.
We don't understand what they're saying.
Kind of add a character question.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, go ahead, Marb.
How heavy are like wood nymphs? Like, are we able to like pick her up and just like chunk her in the wagon or something?
She's about the size of a average human female. You don't know if they're lighter or heavier. I don't think you've ever really encountered one. I don't ever think you've ever.
Is it rude,
picked
like
one up.
just carrying her?
Possibly not, but
Like how?
What do you think, Nika? I'm just gonna pick you up real quick. Hope you don't mind.
Like chop chop. Like you're slowing us down. Let's go.
here. Al, roll me a luck die.
All right.
No.
10?
Okay.
Ooh.
So as the conversation is going, and she kind of Pebble flies over to Pan, and she just kind of reaches up and scratches under Pebble's chin, and then Pebble kind of leans in into her cheek, gives her a little bit of like a little nuzzle, and then flies in the direction of the woods. And then you just see Pan kind of turn. And Sylvan wish you the best of luck. So only Roque, you understand it. And then she says, I will go rest in the woods. You needed a 10 on the luck die, so good job. You don't have to deal with that mess.
Bye.
Great success.
Woo.
If you kill my bird, I'm coming for you.
Pebble, like once she starts heading out, you kind of get that tethered connection with Pebble, and you can call Pebble back.
Nah, Pebble can go with her.
Okay, all right.
That's good. Pebble didn't want to come anyway. Pebble's
Yeah,
like,
we just got
good,
Pebble
man."
back, and he's like, "Peace, friends."
Yeah,
We all
later,
know Pebble's
nerds.
the Lord, so.
Perfect. All right.
You wrecked losers. I'm like, oh, come on, Pebble.
Good luck with that weird pig shit. I'm going to the forest.
Yeah.
Hang out and eat
I'm
some
going.
berries. I'm having a great time. It's
Yeah,
fucking
so.
fantastic being a bird.
So on the road again, the group is traveling. As the group now kind of gets back on pace, how would the group like to approach? Would y'all like to continue at a normal pace, or are you taking?
I suggest picking it up. Yeah.
Picking it up. Okay.
I subtly shuffle back up to Marb because I'm birdless again.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
It's tough. It's tough to be birdless.
it's tough, man. We just got Pebble back.
It's tough out here for a bird. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
So yeah, the group.
Gotta fly. You know,
It's so dumb.
it's all about giving.
Yo, we out here, we grinding, we birds.
Birds, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do every day.
Hashtag bird
Another
life.
day, another seed.
Day another seed. So yeah, the group starts picking it up, and as you do, about 2 or 3 minutes pass, and then you see another abandoned wagon, and another abandoned wagon, and again, these are still in relatively okay condition. They've probably been here a little bit longer, because you see maybe some of the signs of some sitting water around the wheels, or even like inside like a torn part of like some fabric. There's even in one of them, there's like a leftover crate, and you just see a bunch of like bugs and flies actually kind of buzzing around it, and it's like the first sign of some sort of life that you've seen here other than swine folk.
Well, that fills me with optimism.
The only life is decay. Ah.
Yep, seems totally fine and not bad at all. Great.
So yeah, Roque, you definitely pick up on this. As the group is traveling, the density of the carts is starting to pick up. So where there was 3 or 4 about 15-ish minutes away, now there's like 5 or 6 or 7, 8 or 9, and it seems to be like getting more and more dense. And just these, all of y'all are trained in perception, and all of y'all have decent one. The smell in the air is starting to
have good perception.
Yeah. I'm just kind of going off of passive. It's good enough here. There's becoming kind of that mud smell in the air. It's kind of lingering with something a little bit, kind of offensive, kind of an odor in the air. But as the group approaches, you're still kind of keeping as close to the forest as you can, but now you have to actually start diverging more inwards. You do eventually start seeing like clusters of these wagons, and some of them now are just rotting, breaking down. Wheels have been taken off, planks have been taken off. What's the group want to do?
Should we investigate any of these to see if we can tell like how long they've been hitting caravans and what they might have?
Yeah.
I mean, there might be some Marb can stick in one of the pockets.
Well,
So
I imagine
bring a
if
magnifying glass out of my magnifying glass pocket.
Yeah, Gustav, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Oh, can I follow Gustav?
Yeah, investigation.
Investigation.
Definitely super good at that.
Super not good at that. I'm
really good.
dumb.
+1. Here we go.
+0, and I get a 5. Yeah.
Oh my god! I rolled a natural 20. Holy shit!
Oh, wow, nice.
Whoa.
So 21 total. Okay.
Yeah, good. I'm glad I used that
Yeah.
here rather than
Nice.
in combat. But sometimes you do a really good skill roll.
So, yes, you also kind of start picking up on the whole density and the rundown nature. And as you're going through a couple of the carts and the wagons, you do see there's some more of the Volpine. There's some actually from Volpine that have the crest of the Foxwood and they have the fox crest on it. And then you see that there are some of the Verdant Cause ones with the more metal wagons and seem to be supply crates. There's all manner of different types of wagons. There's some that are just caravans, and you see that some still have things in them, and they're kind of torn down, broken down. And as you're kind of investigating one in particular, which was like a nice, large covered wagon, you see that there's like mud tracks leading in and out of it, and it's almost good enough investigation that potentially like this is being used as like a shelter, or whatnot. But yeah, smattering of all different types of coats of arms from local areas. So you see Volpine, you see the Foxwoods, you see Whitlaw, you see the Verdant Cause. You also just see small, large, and all that, but definitely on the way in, these things have been here longer. The wheels are like set into the ground, as if when it rains, it takes mud and then it's dried and rained and dried and everything. So some of them are
actually estimate how long that roughly would be, like how long the oldest wagons have been here.
So in this area, where you can just start seeing what you believe will be that your location, the ranch off to the distance. These have probably been here month and a half.
Okay. And is there anything, because it looks like they're being relatively indiscriminate about what they grab, but when they do that, can I tell by judging perhaps by like the sorts of things they left behind? What are the sorts of things that they're interested in? Like perhaps actually stripping metal from everything, or like what's?
So yeah, what they're leaving behind seems to be mostly like soft things, fabrics. And as you kind of get into one of the ones where you saw like the foot tracks, you see that it's almost like a mound, like a sleeping nest was made.
Okay.
And with that good enough investigation and your relative, actually moderate intelligence, this is like it's being used as like a shelter. It's large enough for like, we don't need these fabrics for whatever. But yeah, all the stuff that's been taking is, if you go to a food cart, food is pretty much all gone, stripped. You see, maybe some semblance of some dropped grains or some forgotten fruit that is now like started to rot at the side of a cart. Same with like meat rations and jerkies and cured meats. You don't really see anything of that. Weapons and arms and all that seem to be all taken from the Verdant Cause ones, and even like the ones that, where the cart would be traveling with a bodyguard or some sort of hired hands. There doesn't really seem to be any weaponry left behind.
Okay.
So you're saying it's big enough for a shelter, like shelter for the double bear pigs, or just like more the pig people?
Probably the pig people would be my assumptions. They hang out here. They grab nearby caravans. They take the food and the weapons and seem to probably leave everything else. Which I suppose would seem to indicate that they are probably marshaling some sort of armed group, which is not overly encouraging, but would seem to fall in line with what we were seeing with the glyphs and whatnot.
So we should maybe be a bit more cautious on our approach then.
Or at least just be aware that we may have to bid a hasty retreat.
That's okay.
Yeah. So, press on. Takes stealthy, I'm assuming.
Yeah, might be a good idea.
You have to.
All right.
So like, do you want us to do like survival and then stealth, or?
Sure. So you guys now see the next ranch. It's about, let's say a few hundred feet, more than that, 500 or so feet away. I need the survival, whoever wants to roll survival to help navigate the best path to go there. Go ahead.
Do survival.
Okay.
It's a 5.
Okay.
I used all my brain searching, sorry.
That's good.
I have to take a nap and lie down. I got a nosebleed from thinking too hard.
That natural 20 on the, yeah.
Yep, too much.
Yeah.
3 is just 3. Ooh, 21.
Okay. Yeah. So Marb, you're kind of surveying over you guys kind of get up on one of the hills, kind of survey the area, and as you're looking out, I think everyone, actually, for the sake of it, can I get perception checks from everyone because everyone's trained in perception?
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice.
There we go. 18.
Okay.
I get my special
10.
bonus. Wait.
We got a pair of 18s, we got a 10, we got a 22.
7.
Marb, you should get your little bonus. Yeah, 21. Yeah. Okay, so the only one that I haven't seen is Grant. There he is, 12. Okay. So, Davis, Marb, Al, and I already forgot who else rolled the other 18. My apologies, my brain.
I think I rolled one.
Yeah, and Gustav. As you guys look out, you do see now that there's like clusters of these wagons and carts and everything, and then there are some like kind of like tarps kind of linking them together and everything, and there is some movement coming in and out as you just kind of observe what's going, and there are some movement of, you see either maybe sentries or just
I'll stop
humanoid
there
figures.
and be like, hey.
Yeah.
I think we see something, and just like as quietly as possible.
Mm-hmm. And still fairly off to the distance, a few 500 feet or so away. But there is definitely some areas where there are gaps in a sense of where there would be like these clusters of carts. And some of these are now like made up of potentially 10, 12 plus carts kind of just smashed in a sense kind of together or parked together. And some of these are like very worn down at this point. Just giving an eyeballs view, continuing kind of your initial investigation and your focus on it and the nosebleed that happened, Gustav, these may have been here for 2 to 3 months longer. So it kind of helping y'all along. It seems, in a sense, like they initially brought the carts in potentially, and then they would sit here, and then as they got more carts, they just kind of started stacking them up further and further away, rather than maybe overcrowding the center area.
They're not building a fort, right? They're not like stacking them up into walls.
No, they're not. They're kind of, in a sense, doing as those that are lesser means and not necessarily able to supply shelter for themselves, so they take what they can and kind of, in a sense, make a District 9 kind of situation, right? We take what's usable supplies and just kind of cram it together, rip a board off of this and put it here, flip a cart on its side to make a wall, rip the tarp and just kind of drape it over and just stick it with a dagger to make like a makeshift, ceiling or roof. And as you're kind of seeing this, you're seeing, 30 or 40 said carts made into different clusters in a way.
So since we see some movement, I guess now we have to make the decision whether we try and check that movement out or maybe go around and check out, because this isn't our destination, right? That's still further off.
It's like it's surrounding. So I'm gonna switch over to the big map. Okay. I'll bring y'all here in a moment, and I'll try to draw just to kind of give you a little bit better of a picture of what's happening. But yeah, it definitely is not the final destination, but you are very close to the next. Is that on the map layer? Is that why I can't delete that? And okay, all right, we'll just ignore the circle. But so, drawing a little bit of shapes for you guys. In the center will be the ranch, which is, say, your destination, right?
Okay.
Why is it so thin? Yeah, zoom out because it's a very large. So
yeah, you're gonna want to zoom up almost all the way.
Yeah, because this is a very big map.
Yep.
So let's say that square represents roughly the ranch, and then shapes. How do I draw shapes? Does it shift again? Is that what it is? Is that the trick?
Yeah, it's like either hold down shift or control to do circles rather than squares.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Vice versa.
Yeah, so like here is like a cluster. Here would be like another cluster. There might be like 1 or 2 over here. It's just like, but like so you can kind of see that there's just like kind of makeshift communal homes in a sense, or storage units. You haven't actually gone in there to see what's going on. But on the one approach side, it almost kind of has a raised cliff kind of area. So let me get like a brown color. So let's say to the southern side of it, you'll see that the terrain naturally just kind of rises. And please let me draw freehand. There we go. And it's almost like there's another trucker. I really wish this program was easier to use sometimes. So it's almost like there's like
not ideal.
Yeah, so it's almost
like
like
fun. You want to work.
Yeah. So this is like a cliff-like area, or a raised area, right? So there's not very many.
So we're coming in from like up here somewhere on the north.
Yeah, let's say a little bit more to like over here. Oh shit, something. A little bit more like up here.
Oh.
So you guys see like these 2 sets. Yeah, perfect. So you see like the most northern, eastern sets of clusters. I'll actually help move everybody there. There you go. So if you zoom all the way out, you should be able to see.
Okay.
Yeah. So the red kind of represents where you see maybe a raised elevated area. And because of that, there's not really any like groupings of caravans and that. And also just by the natural slope and all that, there's also like a buildup of water, kind of making like a natural. You can't really make it out, but you see kind of that sheen.
Well, I would be scared shitless to just like tread through all of this stuff and go straight in. So either we go around.
Well, that's what Marb here is for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Marb, go check it out.
Do you want to start setting stuff on fire now or later?
Let's just look at it first. How about that?
Okay.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
If you see a glowing man, that's probably Simon, and let us know because he's the one that needs to die. Some kind of glowing, crazy individual, right? And someone's leading this pack of monsters. I'm pretty sure it's Simon. Even if he's cursed, even if he's possessed, it doesn't matter. He has to die.
He has to die.
We all know the signal. The signal is caw.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically what Grant.
Or you could just like sneak back and tell us.
No.
That would probably be better.
Gonna caw.
As loud as you can, and bring all the pig people down on us. Got it.
Exactly. This is the reverse.
Lead them away, and
where
then we'll charge in behind.
Bring them all to us.
Yeah. So, little mechanical help, real quick, just because Marb, in case you remember, you are a Kenku, so you're very good at mimicking sounds.
Mm-hmm.
So, if per se you need to use that to help you navigate through, let me know. You don't have to actually make the sound.
Mimic some fart noises real quick. I'll get embarrassed and leave.
Can I assume I've like experienced enough of this like pigs to like?
Yes, you've definitely heard of
Okay, sweet.
Array of
We've
the
killed
sounds
enough
in
of them that awesome.
Well, also listen to them just like wailing and screeching in the distance.
Oh yeah, you slept on the farm that one night.
Well,
Yeah,
in
that's
town
true.
that first time,
Oh, yeah, we
it was
heard that
awful.
Yeah, but that was the big
Very
ones,
bad.
not the, like, smart ones that like goblins.
Go do your
Yeah,
scouting
so-
thing, Marb.
Scouty
So
McScoutface.
got him a scout face.
Okay. This will the distances are a little tracked here. Group is about at this point 400 or so feet away from the closest sets. These. Oh, sorry, from the ranch. So these are probably within about 100 feet or 200 feet roughly. You have to eyeball it.
Okay, if I go ahead, I think I can move stealthily and at normal speed.
Yeah, I believe so. As a ranger, you can on your terrain. So
Damn, that's
Yeah.
pretty strong.
So I can make a little bit farther pace just ahead of the group in case.
I think you're going by yourself, bud.
does anyone? Yeah.
I thought we were still pretty far away from the farm.
Have fun.
Is anyone? Yeah. So
I have a stealth skill, but I am still technically wearing armor, which would probably negate that. So I'm just not even gonna get in there.
Unless one and
I'm gonna get a skill.
Unless you're
I rolled
actively
a
getting
11.
murdered.
I was gonna.
Unless you're actively murdered. Sorry, bud.
I can tuck into my shell and you can roll me along.
No, shut up. Stop. You're not helping.
He's terrain. It's fine.
So I'm gonna need a pig mask.
Yeah, like a
gonna be that
paper
guy.
plate. Cut a paper plate with some holes in the eyes, paint it pink, little ears on it, just like
That's my peak looks
like
exactly
elementary
like
school
a
arts and crafts.
pig.
Yeah,
No, we got this.
I like
Yeah,
this.
I rolled an 11.
pipe cleaner for the tail. Yeah.
An 11. Okay.
It's gonna go bad.
Yeah. So, Marb, you kind of break from the group. The group is, my understanding is keeping an eye on you while they're watching you.
No,
kind
we're
of
busting out the playing cards. So we're gonna start a game of bridge or something.
Okay. So as the game of bridge busts out, where are you trying to go, Marb? Are you trying to?
I'm trying to. Can I detect if this which one's the pink one? If this pile of stuff, has an entrance, or can I use it as cover?
Yeah, it's quite literally like a disheveled nest.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So
We know about those.
there's maybe a hole, an entrance, where one of the wagons is actually perfectly facing you, and then there's another one just kind of crammed into the side of it, and then there's the ripped off tarp kind of in between the two of them, and there's just kind of
Sweet.
put together
Then
a shanty town.
Yeah, I try to sneak as covertly using it as cover.
Okay.
Kind of just keeping a eye towards the middle,
Sure. So as you approach the one of the larger clusters of these wagon carts, you get there. The sun is still, it's coming on around noon at this point of the day because y'all started pretty early. So not even noon at this point, probably more like 11. And you get up to one of the carts and give me a perception check.
Oh, perception. Okay.
Roque apparently bamfed into the house.
I thought purple had
He
been
got
with-
kidnapped magically into the enemy space.
Roque channeled his level 20 and just started Misty Stepping.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw me typing, but yeah, I
perception.
would like to keep an eye out for like movement and
I understand.
other little sets of stuff.
Oh my god.
Natural one.
Nice.
I'm gonna get a skilled.
Cool.
I always knew that would
Alright.
happen.
Sorry
So,
about that.
No, as Marb, as you look back and you kind of see some of the group kind of, hanging off to some of where there's some dead trees and dead bushes, and they're kind of keeping their eyes on you. Davis, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Sure.
Yeah.
8.
8. You kind of see Davis looking around, not signaling you in any way, so you feel confident moving forward. As Al kind of cracks a smile at you, and so with that natural one, keep on navigating.
Keep on trucking, buddy. You can do it, fella.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
So you're just continuing kind of around the first large cluster of carts.
Ooh, yeah. I try to like peek inside like the corners and see if I can
Okay.
tell what's in there.
So as you kind of peek in, you look and it's a lot of it's obscured by shadow and shade just from how the sun is positioned and the fact that there are still like planks and boards and tarps kind of stretched over to kind of create like makeshift roofs. As you look in, you do kind of smells of just sweat and just like it's not a pleasant smell. It's definitely been lived in. It's definitely been used. And then go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's good enough. Like nothing's gonna jump out of like the middle and stab me. Or anything
Not as far as you're aware. No. You're feeling
I mean, anything's possible.
That's true, but how far away is like from where I am right now to the main like barn?
A good. So this distance. Just like let me ping now. So like this distance that you traversed was roughly 100, 150 feet. This is maybe about another 200, 250 feet. So quite a ways, and it's quite open. Anyway, as you're kind of looking out, Marb, you do notice that there's a lot of like just foot traffic. There is really no grass here. It's all been stomped in, and there's a lot of mud and all that.
So does this look like a village?
So realistically,
Potentially, yes, Grant. As you're kind of eyeballing it and kind of taking it in, it kind of looks like it's a makeshift shantytown village.
where the hell are all the pigs then?
yeah, if it's so devastated by footprints that there's no grass, there's got to be a bunch, and we're not that far away that we wouldn't be able to see them.
Let's not ask such difficult questions.
So they either are gone, and the real town, is about to get destroyed, or they're very good at hiding. So
Well, they don't seem like there's.
can I transmit that? Like
They're just
the
napping.
group, like telepathically.
Taking it dirt.
Unfortunately, you do not have.
I'm gonna write a little note and wrap it in an arrow and shoot it at Gustav, but just between his legs.
Ow, damn it!
Oh damn it! I rolled another
hate it when he
natural
does
one.
No. It is, in a sense, it is kind of. You would expect it to be a little bit more active.
Populated.
Yeah.
Because if the pile smells that gross.
Yeah. Are you wanting to go inside, or one of these
Yeah. So I write a note to Gustav and I say like, seems like there's no one around. It feels like there should be a bunch of these pigs, considering how like many cards and like devastated the land is.
It's a really
Mhm.
long note. For
And I'm gonna like go into the barn, like I guess follow me, yeah, so I don't get like ambushed and eaten alive. Like we can like move
So
forward.
how are you like shooting multiple? How are you?
Yeah, he's writing a
Yeah,
really
this is
long
like
message.
a novel.
My dearest Jessica, the
Yeah,
war is
this is also my will. Just give everything to dear Jessica.
No, but in let's in a concise, serious means. How are you conveying what you're doing to the group, Marb?
Hand signal.
No,
Sign language.
I'm gonna shoot an arrow with a message.
Okay.
Right, not to. How much communication experience do I have with Gustav? Like, if I move around where they can see me, do we have any like because we've worked previously together? Like,
Y'all have a semblance of some hand communication and
play
some
like
sign.
charades.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that probably only communicates basic things like stay here or
yes.
watch
Y'all
me
have.
or
Okay, do we have a sign? Can we have a sign for it? It's okay to come forward. Like I assume we've
Yeah.
done this plan
yeah,
a
there's probably
bunch
some
of
sort
times.
of like it's
Yeah.
all clear.
Yes,
sort
you
of
can
thing.
I'm
definitely
gonna do,
have
like-
it all clear. Yes.
All clear, and then one that says like I'm gonna keep going forward.
Okay, that's fair.
You should
That-
signal something like you
Then,
did
like,
a
I
search
love
signal.
I'm gonna
Yeah. No, we don't have a signal for that.
Okay. So as Marb you kind of lost track of him just a little bit as he went on to you guys the far side or the left hand side of
Oh,
this.
I would never lose track of him. My sweet bird boy.
My best friend, my bear boy. We all lost one bear boy.
Marb comes back into the vision and he gives the gestures towards Gustav as all clear. I'm going back around, and kind of he maybe motions y'all to come forward. The group,
Okay.
if you wish, how do you want to approach? And if you do it stealthily, please roll me stealth checks.
Well, he just said it was all clear, so
Mhm.
that's good enough for Gustav. So he's just gonna
Okay.
walk.
Yeah.
All right.
I am not sneaking.
Sucker, there was a pit with
Oh, come on! Classic Marb.
Classic Marb.
Marb is still out for y'all killing the pigs without him.
Can't
the very
even
first
can't even
time.
be mad at him. Okay, maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. He's a bird boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Marb, you slink back around to the left hand side as you're looking at the map, and the
yeah.
group kind of slowly, or not too slowly, approaches.
Mhm.
You peek your head in what was a once larger covered wagon that the roof has kind of been crumbled in and broken down. The steps leading up to it are just not there anymore, so you kind of have to awkwardly kind of hop up, and it's kind of leaning at an angle as one of the wheels has been basically sunken into the dirt, almost up to like the axle. And you go in there and are you like looking around trying to see what you see, or what? Are you trying to find something? What you doing, Marb?
I'm gonna try to keep going to the main ranch.
Oh, okay. So you kind of peek in, and you go to
Yeah, do roll stealth again or something. I don't know.
Yeah, if you want to be stealthy, go ahead. It's going to be
or don't be stealthy. Whatever. I'm not gonna tell you.
it is fairly open in this like section. But go ahead, and then as the group is pushing, Marb, roll me your stealth check, and I just want to get like a rundown of what everyone in the group is doing.
I'm gonna search the first little group of like wagon things that he was just at.
All right,
I'm literally just standing where I had been and just keeping an eye on him.
all right, cool. So give me a perception check, or no, sorry, an investigation check.
okay, 22.
Nice stealth check. Gustav is there. Okay, yeah. So Roque, give me
Feeling some deja vu. This is how we got pinched by that.
No, it's actually
Acid
great.
pit.
Everything will work out. It's fine. Don't even worry
15.
about it.
15.
15 investigation. All right.
It can't be another tentacle house, right?
Yeah, that definitely. It's
That
literally
only happened
impossible.
once. We don't talk about
Yeah,
it. That was
it can't happen
disgusting.
more than that. That's it. Only the one time. It's illegal otherwise.
Yeah, so Roque as Marb forward. You're kind of in here, and you do see that there's caches and stores and stuff of things. The smell in here is not pleasant at all. Definitely the smell of rotten decay, and like there's half-eaten food. There's waste. There's all that. But you
But
do
it's also
see
like weirdly a good smell. You know, like when you're like, oh, sick, but also you're kind of into it.
as you're kind of poking around with your quarterstaff to not get your hands dirty, you kind of to the left, kind of with the butt end, kind of poke, and then you hear a dink, dink, like you're hitting a metal.
Oh, definitely dig into that.
All right. As you do, you see actually a metal chest that is. There doesn't seem to be a lock mechanism on it, but it's a metal chest that the lid is closed over. It's fairly heavy. It's made of iron and wood. It has a crest on it, one that is has mud and gunk on it. You kind of wipe it away, and it's a green background with a golden flower and two bladed weapons at the bottom.
Do I know that crest?
You saw it on the carts originally when Gustav was hitting. He pointed it out that this is this and all that. This is maybe you recognize the golden flower and the green background because that is the Verdant Cause crest. The two blades, they're just there. You maybe don't really recognize what they're for.
Oh no, it's the Verdant Cause secret police.
Do I hear or see him fucking with that chest?
Sure, yeah. I kind of imagine the rest of the group kind of went together.
Yeah, I just be like, guys, I'm gonna open this chest now and
It's locked,
just
right?
start opening it.
No, it's not. He goes to open it and it just kind of, it's a little bit heavy, but he flings it open. And inside, you see a few little things. You see some cloth, and you see like an inkwell. You see
A roll of pennies in a sock.
yeah. You see like a horn that is meant to be held in one hand. It's got a little nice loop strapping on it. It has very subtle engravings on it. It looks like it's been cast in iron, and there's a horn there for you. There's digging through some of the parchment and everything. You do find a collection of pages on actually really fine parchment, and you find 3 inkwells. One is spilled over, but there are 2 that are still there, capped, and there seems to be scrawling on all these pages.
Does it look like common?
No. It is in...
Pig Latin.
no.
I can't translate
Got
this.
What's that?
Yeah.
And then the last thing that you see as you
What
kind
language
of...
was it? Or do we
you
not?
don't recognize the language.
Okay.
Let's see. Marb, you're out there. Roque, you'd see this, and it's equations. It's arcane language. You need to study it to kind of figure it out.
Does it remind me of any of it? Like, remind me of my rich elf friend in my dream vision quest thing?
No.
Okay.
In this case, no. It's completely different type of etchings and writings and everything. This is more of this would be more in like a derived form of Draconic mixed with some common, and it's more of like a formulaic approach to some things.
So out of character, it looks like spells on spell pages.
Yes. But he's never seen spells on
Right.
paper.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But yes. So, and then lastly, because it is a decent sized chest, you do kind of go through it, and at the bottom there's another little wooden chest, and you take it and it opens and there's a key.
There's another chest.
Yeah.
Inside
And it's got the same like armory symbol on the key. So right now what you've been able to find in this chest is a collection of 10 fine parchment pages and 2 fine inkwells, and then there's scrawlings on these pages, and then you found a fairly nice horn that's cast in metal, probably iron.
I'm taking the inkwells.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I'll be like, guys, I got like a chest of goodies here. Everybody come by and grab some.
I missed the treasure.
I'm keeping the paper with scrawls on it though.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that and be like, guys, come help yourselves. And if nobody takes the horn, I'm blowing it.
Slap it out of your hand.
I'm getting the horn as quick as I can.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna just start studying the parchment because it's curious to me.
okay, give me. Did you kind of blow in the horn a little bit or not? I'm just curious.
I mean,
probably.
I kind of would a little. I think probably
Okay,
just a little
That's
bit.
fine. So as you see, Roque put the horn up to his lips and give it a little toot, and like a couple of y'all are like reaching over to stop him.
No.
No sound comes out.
Ooh.
Oh, that doesn't seem so bad. I mean,
a
that
dog
would make
horn.
me want
Or
to
it can be
blow
like a giant
A pig
bear
whistle.
pig, like
Yeah.
whistle. Yeah.
Hey, I have a
Al?
cool idea. What if you don't do that?
Bananas.
Al, as he's blowing into it, you do see just the slightest, like, kind of shimmer to some of that engraving.
Hey, Rock, do you mind if I hold on to that for a bit? Just safekeeping.
I mean, sure, it doesn't seem to work. Stupid horn.
Yeah, I think it's broken. I'll take a look into it, see if I can fix it for us.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, then that means for the sake of tracking, Al put a metal horn or like a mute horn or whatever you want to put somewhere in your inventory. Davis put 2 fine inkwells, and Roque put 10 fine parchments with spells? Question mark.
Question.
Yeah. And then who took the little extra armor key?
I would take that too if no one wants it.
Okay, so you
Take
also
the
have a.
cloth as well.
Oh, you take some of the fine cloths. Okay,
Sure. What should I put?
cool. Fine cloth for now.
Okay.
So y'all managed to gather some things, rather nice things amongst a kind of really like pigsty-esque interior. So Marb, as this all was going on, you've kind of slinked your way over to the main ranch, and for the sake of ease, we shall shift over. Shift over. Ding, to here.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god, New Year, New Ranch.
So yeah, it's very run down. It stinks to all hell. And as you're approaching, give me a perception check.
Perception. Oh my god, that worked. Oh, I rolled a 15 though.
15, not bad. So it is very unsettlingly quiet around here. And you're approaching, and you get kind of close, and you do see that there is one of the pig folk just kind of rests, is leaned up against his back on the barn, and he's just
Snoring.
Nah, he's like got his arms crossed. He's smoking a cigarette, wearing sunglasses. He's
Yeah.
really,
Yeah,
he's
I
really
actually
cool.
I actually have my arms crossed. I'm pretty.
Can I
Super cool. The coolest
like,
man pig you've ever
approach
seen.
him and realistically kill him in one like knife stab to the neck as quietly as possible?
Okay, yeah. You
Is that an attack roll or
27 22 to reverse me. Yeah, he definitely has no idea that you're there.
No, it's a skill check. Roll history.
no?
Assassinate.
Yeah. So yeah, Marb, just roll to see if you meet. So go ahead and give me an attack roll. For you, it's d20 plus 5. I'm taken with the dagger.
Give me an animal handling roll to stealth kill the pig man.
And can I use my what's the one that I can add to my attack roll or damage?
Oh yeah,
roll?
yeah. You're thrill the hunt, so you add another +3 to the hit.
Find it on the sheet.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you 18 total. You kind of approach. You look behind you, and none of your
Wait, 18 total?
right. 15. You rolled an 8 plus 7. Oh wait, why you rolled a plus 7? Oh,
No,
you rolled
the
a
15 was stealth. I still need to
Oh, okay, yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
roll.
Yeah, so d20 plus 5 to strike with your dagger.
Uh-huh.
And then before I tell you if it hits or not, you can choose to add your wisdom to the attack roll.
Add my wisdom. That's what it was. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna add it.
Okay, so just blanket. Okay, got it. Got it.
So it's gonna be plus 8.
Oh, yeah.
21.
Okay.
Perfect.
21. So you kind of sneak up. You look behind you. Your friends are not following. Whatever. They're not going to see you be cool. And you go up. You kind of place. You actually manage to kind of sneak off kind of the side of him and right below like the jugular, and you just kind of quickly sink your blade in and cover his mouth.
Okay.
And you definitely, he's starting to just kind of fight back a little bit, but he slowly kind of fades. And there's a little bit of, actually, I do want to do, give me a sleight of hand to see how well you manage to muffle the sound that he's making and everything.
Sleight of hand.
This is all happening like while we're checking out the chest.
Yes, this happened while y'all were checking the chest and everything.
So it's an extra 2, so 7. 16.
Where'd you get the extra 2 from?
Because I'm trained in sleight of hand.
Yeah, so it should be plus 5.
And then the
Doesn't apply on
double.
X checks. No. So it's fine. It's plus,
then do minus, yeah.
minus 2. Okay, so 14 total. That's what I was trying to see if I forgot something. No, so 14. You do some sound manages to get out. You managed to muffle a lot of it.
Would any of us heard that?
No, it was
Too far.
good enough to.
Can I like just freeze and like hear or do like a
Sure. So you kind of pause, right? Your heart
see if anyone
beating.
heard it.
You've trained yourself to, you kind of take and you slow your heart down, and with your passive perception, you hear maybe a little bit of shuffling but maybe it's just one set of something movement from inside the barn, but there's not like a stampede of footsteps. And this one, what you see, he was in like makeshift like pieces of metal and hide kind of put on. He even put like a helmet which was like banged out to make it larger and fit on his head, and he had just an axe by his side, a big old hand axe.
Okay. Is there anything I can like hide the body against?
You can drag it to maybe the other side of the barn because I kind of imagine you approach kind of to the corner side.
Yeah, I assume.
At the risk of being that guy, though, given the size difference, would Marb?
Yeah, that's what
I was gonna say. Give me a strength check to see how well you can.
Let's
Minus
that-
one.
Yeah.
And then while he's doing that,
You can always light the body on fire.
Oh god.
No one can find it if it's on fire.
so while y'all are doing that, the group that was in the initial
Oof.
cluster, Marb, you start kind of pulling, and you're getting the sense that you need to either leave it or you're gonna figure out what's coming out of the barn.
Then I leave it and like try to peek.
Can
I like
see-
at least give it a try and then fail on the side.
Mhm.
Okay, fuck it. I just need to peek as stealthy as possible.
Can I see the body?
We're at
This
the
is
chest.
so this is while y'all were going on the chest,
Yeah.
kind of digging through. Hey, look, I found this. Hey, look. But
Hey, I
now,
love this horn.
yeah, it's actually right around the time you blew the horn.
They said it was silence.
Turns out the horn counteracted the
No.
muffle. Perfect.
The
Yep.
Marb, you
Ah, dang
slink back around the side, leaving the corpse of the swine folk. And the group has now kind of simultaneously finished what they were doing. And as you kind of emerge out, where are you guys looking? Where are you guys wanting to go? I'm going to swing back to the big picture so we can kind of.
I was
So-
looking everywhere, like here, over here, and
Okay.
probably also to Marb, but kind of focusing elsewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Gustav is the one who's primarily concerned with like watching for Marb to either come out and give us the all clear or to run out being chased by thousands of people.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
There's only
So-
one of those.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
Yeah, so Gustav, I would actually say that if you were the first one to kind of head out of the loot divvying, so you saw Marb.
Well, I was basically ignoring that. Like,
Oh, you
they're
were, okay.
doing whatever they're doing. I don't care. I'm
Okay.
just watching. Like, I presume I watch Marb go in the building. I don't really want to get any closer in case
Perfect.
I make noise. So I'm basically just like watching the door, waiting for him to like stick his
No,
thumb
I
out, give us
understand.
the thumbs up, or again run out on fire.
Got it. So you,
Murdered by
I would
pigs.
say, Gustav, just keeping your focus on Marb as approaching, you do see him coup de grace one of the sleeping swine folk and kind of settle and then kind of lay the body down, but then not take it with him and just kind of dart around the corner out of sight
Okay.
in a sense. So you do see that, and the group is now kind of finishing up their loot giving, heading out of this section. Davis, as you were scanning to the left on this map, give me a perception check.
'Kay.
Roque, you were saying you were heading down somewhere?
Yeah, I would just head to the next bunch of little wagons because
Okay.
so now I'm excited to find more loot.
Okay, 8%. You don't see anything coming or any movement, or it's just a rundown pile of broken wood. It's almost more like this. The little stack is like all the broken pieces just kind of piled up into like a trash pile, in a sense. Over
Well,
here.
I'd be trying to figure out the parchments while I walk, like from here to here. So I'm probably stumbling on things and not
Okay.
really paying attention.
So yeah, Gustav, as you're watching Marb, you also see Roque in your peripheral, just kind of.
Tra-la-la.
And now, you
I'm just trying really hard to not look at him because I know it's gonna piss me off.
okay. So
Also, I think I need to restart my PC real quick. My RAM is being stupid. So
Okay.
I will be back in
Classic
a
RAM.
hot
Perfect.
second here.
Should we take a
yeah,
break?
we'll wait for you. Sounds good. Take a break, get a drink.
It should be like pretty short. So
Yeah.
I have to run this like memory.
Okay. I just needed to run to the bathroom, so I'm gonna do that.
Perfect. Take a break. We'll be back in 5 minutes or so.
Sweet.
I'll stop the recording.